What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at FansToys FT-27 Spindrift. This is a not C.F.R figure. The figure stands about the same height as a current Titans Returns Deluxe class figure. It is just a smidge smaller, and it is actually significantly bigger than Transformers Legends class C.F.R. Height difference aside, the figure comes with a couple of accessories, first of which is a new head and some guns. The second head is a more G1 styled head, but I actually like the more curved head we have here, but I'll go ahead and put the second head on so you can see the difference. I like this more G1 centric head. It is cool, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel completely right to me because I think the proportions are off. I think the more curved head or more dome-like head is a much better head for this figure. The figure also comes with forearm mounted guns and then a blaster that he can hold in robot mode. All of these weapons are mountable in the vehicle mode. Spindrift's posability is quite good. We'll move the propellers back here for just a second. Head is on a ball joint. It is a little bit limited though, and getting it on and off that ball joint is incredibly difficult, but it can be done. There is a set of swivels in the shoulder, swivel at the upper forearm, over 90-degree bend at the elbow. Fists are articulated, and the hands do open and close at the top knuckles. There is torso articulation. Hips are a series of pin swivels. There is thigh articulation. Lots of knee articulation thanks to the transformation, and there is some ankle articulation in and out, and then you can spin the ankle. Very little forward and back. It only goes forward so much, but it does flip back all the way for the transformation. So you can get some decent poses out of this guy. In fact, you can make him do kind of ninja poses and the crane stance from the Karate Kid, which I find absolutely ridiculous. My son also likes to grab onto this figure and go stomp, 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 stomp because he has big feet. Spindrift's transformation is a bit on the unpleasant side. It is very similar to the Legends figure, or Legends C.F.R figure that is, but there are a couple of things with it that just are not fun. So to start off with, we're going to remove his forearm guns, which pop right off, then come down to his feet and combine them together like that. Flip out the pontoon sections, then take the legs and flip them into the feet and fold the knees all the way down and then flip them up like so. Now we could come to the top of the figure, take the arms, point them straight out like that, come around to the back and grab these panels, unpeg them, fold them so they're pointing out like that, and then flip them out and away from the rest of the figure. Now that we've got these panels floating out to the side, what we can do is reach inside and unpeg the bottom part of the chest from the rest of the body. And to do that does require a little bit of force, but it does pop up and swing out of the way like this. Then we can fold the chest or the leg section up, and this little white piece right here that's inside the chest will fold down and peg in between the legs, like so. Now for the rest of the transformation, and this is the part that I really, really dislike. Next, we can fold the hovercraft engines up, turn the head 180 degrees, and push the head down into the body of the figure like that, getting that hinge out of the way. Fold the entire body section down, and there are two little clasps on the inside, right where my thumbnail is, that will clip on to that little peg, like that. And the first time you do this, things do not go well, because the directions, while they are fine, are a little bit hard to discern what's going on. And I'm sorry, I just nudged the camera. Now for this section. And this is by far the worst part of the transformation, because you see I've already screwed up. What you have to do is you have to pull this section up away from the body and then gently nudge it down into place there. Then bring the fists in and turn the fists so that they're pointing in and just straighten them out into place, and they're supposed to slide right in to the holes here, but that never seems to work correctly. No matter what I do, no matter what direction I put the fists in, they do not seem to want to slide into place. It happens on both sides. So you're supposed to angle everything down, get it into place, and these are supposed to slide in so much that the fists are completely covered. It doesn't exactly work like that totally, but if you've got everything lined up correctly, it will do it. It doesn't always feel like it's going to do it, though. So then we get this chest resituated, and we come to these sections, and we've already screwed up again because you're supposed to fold these panels down, and they will peg, this peg hole will peg right into the forearm. But as it stands, it's not going to work. So you have to disconnect what you just did, realign everything, fold everything back into place, get the first section back in correctly, come in here, fold these panels down first, which that's not in the directions. The directions have you snap everything together and then fold the panels down. Then push everything into place, get the panels back, flipped up back into the correct spot, and then attempt to get everything lined up correctly again, even though this hinge, the hinge that is connected to this front panel, I feel is about 3 or 4 millimeters too short to do this correctly. And all you end up with is just frustration. The only way that I have found to do this reliably is to first, before you combine the rear and the front, is to get the panels to where they're supposed to go. And then kind of just force everything into place. And I realize that's not the best solution because look, see these tabs here? They're supposed to peg into the legs. Don't exactly want to do that right now, do they? So you just kind of have to grab the panels with your fingers, force everything into place, and just kind of try and hold everything together. And it is incredibly frustrating. And a figure of this size should not be this frustrating. Now, it's very, very possible that I'm just being an idiot. Very possible. But I don't think this is the best engineered figure for this transformation. I think it is frustrating. I think it's a pain in the butt. And it's not fun. This little panel causes so many issues and so much freaking frustration. And then when you're done, you then take these other smaller panels and flip them around, and they're supposed to rest flushly inside this section here, right where my thumb is. They don't always, but I say screw it and flip the thrusters up and just leave it. As you just saw, getting this guy into the hovercraft mode is a pain, a royal pain. But I can't argue with the hovercraft mode. I think it looks really good. Compared to his Legends version, it's, I think, a little bit better, though the Legends version is definitely more modern. Now you can also attach the guns. You can attach his blasters up here up top in these little peg holes. And then you can attach the larger blaster up here. It doesn't, down here, which you have to do when you put the legs together. So it'll sit up like that, but I'm not going through that again on camera. It's just too frustrating. I do legitimately like Spindrift. I think it's a fun figure. The robot mode is simply fan-freaking-tastic, though the transformation leaves something to be desired. Getting it back into robot mode is pretty easy, except for having to grab the head with your fingers and pull it up. That is actually harder than I feel it should be. But overall, it's okay. Yes, the transformation is difficult and frustrating. No, no denying that. I can't think of anything to say about that otherwise. But I do like the figure. Getting it back into robot mode is a little bit tricky, that I just did off camera, of course. But I do like it. I think the figure is fun, and it is something different. I mean, we haven't had that many third-party C-Spray figures, so that's something definitely worth looking into. So is this figure worth having in your collection? I think so. Now, I haven't played with the Toy World version of C-Spray. There is a Toy World version and there's a FansToys version. I don't have the Toy World version. Am I going to get it? Probably not, because this guy satisfies my itch for another C-Spray figure. But if you have to have a C-Spray figure, get the Legends one. It's way cheaper, and it's more fun, because even though this figure is good, and I do like this figure, it is supremely frustrating to get it into vehicle mode. So gang, I hope you've enjoyed this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.